I'm going to work through one of these practice tests so you can see how it's done. Nice and slow, every step shown. Starting out with number one, give an equation that describes the points, graph it. Well, first thing that we need to do is to find the slope of the line that connects those points. I'm going to start out by marking them because I think it just kind of helps to visualize it if you can, well, visualize it, you know. So let me just mark some of these. So like this point, 1, -6. That's going to be here, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the point, 1, -6. And if I did -1, 1, that would be here, -1, 1. Okay, so it's going to be a steep line. It's vertical down. I'm only going to be able to fit one more point here. 1, 2, 3, and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that right there is pretty steep. I'm going to go ahead and just draw the line that connects those. So if I were to just go boom, 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 there's your line. Okay, so as far as what the slope and y-intercept are, first thing I'm going to need to do is get a rise and a run. So for a rise, I'm going to need that to be a difference between two y values, and I think the 2 points I'm going to choose, I think I will choose this one and that one. So the y value of this is 1. The y value of this is -6. 1 minus -6 is 7. So that is a difference of 7. And what about the run? Oh, sorry. I really should have had that reversed. This is -7 because it's going down. So, whoopsie. Let's switch those. Anyway, 7. I think you could figure that out. And as far as the run goes, we're going from -1 over to +1. But just because it's good to see it, run is going to be an x2 minus an x1. So here that's going to be 1 minus -1. And so that is a total of 2. So we have a rise of 7, a run of 2. That means we have a rise over run of 7/2. Rise over run equals -7/2. That's -3.5. So I can go ahead and start writing this equation. Oh, that's a bit too big. See, so in slope-intercept form, you know, it's y equals mx plus b. Let's get a normal font there. There we go. So y equals -3.5x, and now we need a y-intercept. So it looks like the y-intercept is -2, but I don't want to assume. So what I will do instead is I'm going to take the slope of -3.5 and I'm going to put it in an equation and solve it. So y equals mx plus b, knowing that m is -3.5. I just need to pick a point so I can have an x and a y value. I think the math will be nice and easy if I use this one, because x is -1 and y is +1. So filling everything in, I've got 1 equals -3.5 times -1. That's +3.5 plus b. Subtract. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't assume. If I subtract 3.5 from both sides, it looks like I'm going to end up with -2.5. B is equal to -2.5. So that's going to be -3.5x minus 2.5. I'm a little skeptical of that, so I'm just going to make absolutely sure. I'm going to take this other point and plug it in. If I put in positive 1 here, that would be negative 3.5 times positive 1. That's negative 3.5 minus 2.5. That is negative 6. Okay, good. So we got it. There's problem number 1 all fixed up. I'm going to go ahead and save this so I can post it. This is going to be, let's see, alg pract A1. Okay, next problem. I'm going to go ahead into here and nab it. All right. So choose 5 points that fit on this line, graph them, end the line. All right, so putting this page of work out of the way, 5 points that fit the line. Y equals 1.5x plus, well, minus 6. So starting here, y equals 1.5x minus 6. I just need to choose some x values, and then I'll get some y values. All right, choose 5 points. That shouldn't be too hard, right? So I'll just pick 5 values. Why not? Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. That's not too difficult, right? All right, now I'll get ready to come up with those values in the y. I just need to plug them in. So if I do negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2, and fill in here 1.5 minus 6, 1.5 minus 6, 1.5 minus 6, 1.5 minus 6, and 1.5 minus 6. 1.5 times negative 2 is equal to negative 3. Negative 3 minus 6 equals negative 9. 1.5 times negative 1 is negative 1.5. Negative 1.5 minus 6 is equal to negative 7.5. 1.5 times 0 is 0. Minus 6, minus 6. Now you'll notice I'm moving 1.5 every time. Of course I am. That's the slope, but moving on. 1.5 times 1 is 1.5. 1.5 minus 6 is negative 4.5. I have an awful lot of negative numbers there. 1.5 times 2 is 3. 3 minus 6 is minus 3. So there are 5 x values. Here are 5 y values. So negative 9, negative 7.5, negative 6, negative 4.5, and negative 3. So those are 5 points, and if I'm going to make a line, it would be pretty easy if I just marked them and then connected them. Negative 2, there's negative 9, negative 1, here's negative 7.5, 0, here's negative 6, 1, here's negative 4.5, and 2, here's negative 3. As you can see, they make a neat little tidy line, and if I connect them, I should be able to get, there it is. There we have it. Choose 5 points that fit the line, graph them, end the line. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save this so that I can import it to algpract A1, 2. Okay, last but not least, moving down, let's get a snapshot of this, find the equation for the line, and choose 5 points for the table. Okay, new sheet of paper, find the equation for the line, and choose 5 points for the table. So I'm going to get some points off of it. It looks like, just reading here, that looks like a point right there. That looks like a point right there. That looks like a point right there. And those are occurring at even intervals. So I think that I can come up with a slope for this. So this point right here appears to be the point 2, 1. And this point right here appears to be the point 0, -2. So working with those, I should be able to find the slope. The slope is going to be, well, the rise over the run. So as we can see, that goes down by 3, but going to be sure, rise is equal to y2 minus y1. So that's going to be, sorry, that goes up by 3. That's going to be 1 minus -2. That is equal to 3. So the rise is 3. As for the run is going to be x2 minus x1. And that looks like 2 minus 0. So that's 2. We've got a rise of 3, a run of 2. That would be a rise over run of 3 over 2, or 1.5. I can go ahead and start with y equals 1.5x. Now, since I already found a y-intercept in number 1, I won't demonstrate that again because this one just gave it to me. It's -2. -2. Okay, there's the equation for the line. Now I just need to come up with some values that fit it. So, without further ado, knowing that y equals 1.5x minus 2, I'm just going to pick some numbers. -2, -1, 0. I've already got a couple of those. That's all right. 1 and 2. And knowing that I put 1.5 here, maybe I should have chosen even numbers. That would have made this easier, but that's okay. What's life without a little struggle, right? Oh, I know. Easy. 1.5 times -2 is -3. -3 minus 2 is -5. 1.5 times -1 is -1.5 minus 2. That would be -3.5. 1.5 times 0 minus 2. That is going to be -2. 1.5 times 1 is 1.5 minus 2 is -0.5. 1.5 times 2 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. And just enter those in. Let's see. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And the corresponding y values. Here we go. -5, -3.5, -2, -0.5, and 1. All right, and that's done. Wow, there's some alarms outside.